But God, I think, has a way of helping us. Sometimes the ways that He helps us are completely unexpected. We don't see Him coming. Sometimes I believe God has a neat sense of humor too, because some of the ways that He helps us end up being kind of funny, kind of ironic. You saw a picture of my little brother James up there. James, when he was about 3 years old, he said something I'll never forget. I was sitting outside watching him play in the sandbox. A bird flew by and pooped on my shoulder. And I hollered out at James. I said, "James, come here. I need your help." And so he walked over there to me. He brushed off a little bit of sand and waddled over there, and he stood beside me. And I said, "You see that stuff there on my shoulder?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Will you wipe it off for me?" He reached his little hand up there, and he just about getting ready to wipe it off, and he froze. He stopped. He looked up with his big old eyes, and he said, "What is that?" And I didn't want to lie to the kid, you know. So I said, "Well, I just sitting here watching you play in the sandbox, and a bird flew by and dropped this on my shoulder. I'm pretty sure it's bird poop." He wrinkled up his little nose, and he jerked his hand back, and he said, "Ooh." He said, "I ain't touching that." So I said, "Well, go inside and get Mom," which, by the way, my mom's here today, sitting over there on the side. Thanks for coming. I said, "Go get Mom." You know, because moms will do that kind of stuff for you when nobody else will. And so he went in and he got Mom. Mom came out. And she took care of the problem. Probably wiped it off there, changed my shirt. I don't remember what she did. But before James went inside, he said something I'll never forget. He said, "Okay," you know, in his stern little 3-year-old voice. He said, "I'm going to go get Mom, but if she don't want to wipe it off of there, then you're just going to have to learn to live with it." And, you know, as I began to think about what he said, I began to think, wow, here's a 3-year-old kid who's already learned that there are some things in life that we wish that we could change, that we don't like. They're unwanted, unchangeable circumstances. And for whatever reason, when God doesn't answer our prayers, when He doesn't fix the things that we want Him to fix, we're left with a choice. Do we learn to live with it, you know, as my little brother said, or not? That was a big choice that I had to make. You know, accepting paralysis was a tough thing. I look out around here, I don't see anybody else that's paralyzed. And guys, you might want to look at me the whole time as I say this next thing. Because if you look toward your wife at any point in time, you might be in trouble for a really long time after I say this. But we all have things in our lives that we have to live with that we wish that we could change, right? We all have those things that are there. We have things that we wish that God could change. But He doesn't. He challenges us to learn to live with them. Why? I don't know. I don't understand why God does all the things that He does. I don't understand His timing. Why He allows some people to go through situations and circumstances, and why it seems like for other people He just fixes everything. I don't know. James's words was a challenge for me to learn to accept my paralysis. But not only that, it was a challenge for me to learn to live with it, to learn to make the most out of my life, in spite of my circumstances, in spite of the things that I wish that God would change. It was also a challenge to go on and to do what I could to make the most out of my life.